Well, each month on my Tumblr I post a photo of what I've read, and then I write what books I've read, which ones I've enjoyed the most and which ones I didn't. So I was thinking, well, now I have this booktube, why don't I start doing videos for what I've done each month? Thing is, we're 4 months into the year, and I've done 3 months worth of books on my Tumblr. So I thought, why not try to get them 3 out of the way in one video? So we'll see how this works out, shall we? This year already, I think I have read 55 books, somewhere around that. So I have quite a few books to pick from, which means I don't have one for each month, I have a few for each month. Which means I'm going to try and keep this as short as I can, which means I won't be talking about them in depth. So, shall we get to our first one? The first one was a whole series I read, I really enjoyed. I don't know if it's in shot. The whole Young Sherlock series. I don't know, I got some for Christmas and I really enjoyed them, and I went out and bought the rest. So we have Death Cloud, where Sherlock discovers his first dead body. He's 14 years old. It goes to show how he got his first tutor, like special one-to-one tutor, and how he learnt to deduct things. You got Red Leech, which was, I don't know, it was about the most famous assassin had turned up, and I'm trying to do these short, and these books, I don't think you can do in short. Black Ice, there was a plot across air against Minecraft. He ends up in a room with a dead body, which wasn't dead when he walked in. Sherlock has to work out what's going on, try and find out how he gets Minecraft out of it. Will Minecraft survive? Well, we'll get through this and you'll find out he does. His tutor and his tutor's daughter, who Sherlock has taken a bit of a fancy to, go missing. So Sherlock and his friend Matty, who he meets in the first book, go and find them. This one's just a wild ride. I think that's one of my favourite ones, as well as Black Ice. At the end of Firestorm, Sherlock gets kidnapped by some group of underground people who doesn't like the government. Not very good with words. So this is about how he got through being kidnapped. He's put on a boat who sails away from England to China. In this book, people, how many? 3 men get killed by a poisonous snake at the same time. But it's the same snake. How is this possible? Knife Edge. Right. I love this book. Sherlock and Mycroft have to go and they investigate a psychic who claims they can communicate with dead spies, and European and American, etc. governments are bidding for his services. Because if you can find out the secret of your enemies, you pretty much win. I don't know, I love this book. It was so clever, so many plot twists. I highly recommend it. So Sherlock goes to Oxford to get taught by another tutor. This is the 7th book, but I think there is another one coming out. So body parts go missing. Someone's just stealing random body parts. And there is a house that moves at night. So Sherlock has 2 things to deal with Matty. Matty is in this one. That's Young Sherlock. Well, that's January. That was pretty quick for me, I think. February, I only read... I kind of cheated in that last one. I actually read Stone Cold in February, but I started it in January, so I thought I'd shove it all in the January bit. I did put it in the February photo, because I did finish it in February. February technically I started and read 2 books, which wasn't very much. I had like a reading slump, so I went for words. I'm not too good with words, so I thought, why not improve my vocabulary, which didn't really work for me. But I read 2 books like this, which I actually found really interesting. I got loads of little tabs of words. I'm not really good at pronouncing, but let's see if I can find one I can pronounce, just to show you. It's about lost words in the English language. So, words that no one uses, long words. Some are really difficult. Like, I struggle to speak normally. And a lot of these I was just guessing. Okay, gowned. I hope that's how you pronounce it. Is the gunk that collects in the corner of your eye. So we could just call it sleep. See, when you wake up and you got all that gunky eye. It's apparently called gowned. Let's do one more. Knitted. I don't know if you can see that there. If not, I'll put it on the thing below. It's apparently bright, shiny, polished and glossy in the literal or figurative senses. Now all that means, right, that's February. March! Now if you followed me on Tumblr, you will know I didn't actually work for about 3 weeks. I work when they need me, so I'm a casual employed. So if they have no work for me in the warehouse, I don't go in, which makes sense. Now if there's no work for me, I ain't gonna sit there for 11.5 hours to do nothing. Well, they didn't call me for 3 weeks. It went really, really dead and everyone was struggling for work at this point. So, but I don't know until the next day whether I'm in or not. So I was always waiting. It got to around about 7th of March and I thought, this doesn't look too good. You know what, I'll try reading again. Well, I thought, why not try a book a day? Obviously, I was already a week in, so I'd read 5 books, so I only had to read another 2 to catch up to where I was. And I think there was 31 days in March. So I was like, okay, I read 31 books. I did it, I actually read 32, which, yay! Which also means I had a lot to choose from, and it did take me a while. So, right, we got this one, and I don't think I've seen anyone on my Tumblr read this. I actually wrote in a notebook beforehand what I would try and say about each book, because I didn't want to come in and just try and guess it. The thing is, with this book, I don't think I can say anything that gives it away. That doesn't give it away, sorry. So, it's about a boy, Alfie. He goes into a sanatorium to get better. He can't sleep, he's got insomnia. I don't know the era. I think, I don't know, I'd say Victorian, after Victorian, that kind of... I wouldn't put it as nowadays, I don't think. So, these kids are all, I think they're under 16, somewhere around there. And they've all got problems, like, I don't know, one sees visions and that and think things are after him, and another is just really violent. So they're all in here together, and this kid can't sleep. He tries there forever. I know some of you understand that kind of thing. Well, let me read the blurb, because I think I've tried, and that's all I can say. So, Alfie can't sleep. He's been sent to the sanatorium to get better. And it's a terrifying place, especially at night when everyone else is sleeping. Alfie soon discovers that being awake is the most dangerous condition of all. You'll find out why, but don't expect to sleep afterwards. I did say this has a brilliant, brilliant plot twist. I loved it. There are basically spirits or demons or scrapers, I think they call them, that go around at night and they like grab at your feet and that. But obviously the only one that can see him is the kid that sees visions. So they just think he's crazy, he's making it up. Turns out he isn't. And Alfie soon discovers that they're there. I'm going to leave it at that. That's going to be pretty much all I'm saying about that. Right, my last book, I have tried everything to try and explain it. I think I worked for about 40 minutes trying to come up with at least a sentence to explain this book. When I was reading it, I actually ranted on my Tumblr. So if you stick with my Tumblr for a while, you will know what I am about to say about this book. If you have read it, you will understand what I am about to say. The Ghost of Heaven. Oh my god, right? So there are 4 quarters to the book, but can we just appreciate how beautiful this book is? Just look at that. Right, there are 4 quarters to this book. You can read them in any order, which means there are 24 possible ways to read this book. I have only read it one way. I will reread it in the future. So I have a little notepad here of what each quarter is. So the first one I put as the Stone Age kind of era. The second one was about the witch hunting era. The third one takes part in an asylum. And the fourth one is the future. And it's all about spirals. Which, nothing is said on the blurb about it. I don't know, they're all seeing spirals. It's all about magic and all of that. but it's actually really creepy. And I got to the end, and I was about, I don't know, 5 pages away from the end, and I was going, I have no idea what is happening. But it was a good way, it was good. And I put the book down, because I couldn't read the last few pages. And I was going, what the hell is going on? What the hell just happened? And I was ranting on Tumblr, and someone else was like, well, I'm reading that book soon. Once I get to the end, I'll message you. I read the end, and I still did not understand it, and it was brilliant because I didn't want to understand. It was that kind of book. I wanted to leave it a mystery. Well, that other person finished, and also joined me in the what the hell just happened. I have read the last bit again, and I'm still like, what the hell just happened? But it is beautiful, it is clever, it is so interesting, and I loved every single second of it, and I highly, highly recommend this book. If you have read it and you know what is happening, please, please, for the love of God, message me. Just send me a message on Tumblr explaining maybe a little bit of what happened. I will be so thankful. If there is no answer, I will also be so thankful, because I don't care how this book ends. It was so good and I really enjoyed it. Well, I just summed up 3 months worth of books in one video, and I think I did pretty darn good. Whether you liked it or not, you can comment below, you can subscribe, like this video, dislike this video, but I don't recommend that. Yeah, I will do these again for each month, but hopefully they won't be so rushed because I won't have to try and fit 10 books into one. These books will be below. I will write each book title, the author, etc. in the comments. Not the comments, the descriptions. In the description. Why not check them out for yourself? Simple as I can say. Go to your library, go to your bookshop, maybe read the first chapter. If you love them, buy them. Don't forget to follow my book Tumblr. I will put the username below, and I also have a Goodreads account, which you can stalk me on if you really want. So that's it until my next video, so happy reading.